Welcome to the Emerging Professional Series at the Coffee Connoisseur powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Architect of Global Capability Centers, Abhishek Jain, building global capability one GCC at a time. Abhishek is a dynamic and accomplished leader with extensive experience in building and scaling global capability centers across industries. From setting up greenfield GCCs to driving multi-function growth and digital transformation, Abhishek has played a pivotal role in creating high-performing organizations worldwide. Behind his professional achievements, he brings with him stories of resilience, strategy, and the human side of leadership. And we also come to know who Abhishek as a person is. So, welcome, Abhishek, to this coffee conversation episode.
Thank you so much, Amir. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you so much for the comprehensive introduction.
Yeah. So we are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi. So we are dedicating this to making a special episode, and I'll ask you what message to give at end. Hmm? Chalo, let me explain you. There'll be three rounds: professional, personal, and a surprise rapid fire round where you'll meet the hot seat,
Mm.
Abhishek, and years inspiration, AI in the workforce. So you have to be witty, fun, and quick. So
Sure.
let's. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, was a coffee corner legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So, my first question, Abhishek, you have you have successfully built and scaled multiple GCCs. What's the first principle you follow when starting a global capability center from scratch?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question. And most of the GCCs falter on that basic principle. And the basic principle is that there is a strong alignment. There should be a strong alignment between your headquarters and your GCC in terms of the mission, vision, and the center purpose. So most of the GCCs, they don't write the mission and vision and the central purpose for them, and then they don't align it with that of the headquarters. I think that should be the first step. And if you follow that step, then you are able to show the sponsors, your management team, that hey, GCC is adding value to the headquarter. It is helping it accomplish its goals. You can give clarity to the people in the GCC in India. They can see the connection between what they do and what the company's mission and vision is.
Wow, beautiful. So, let's dive deep in conversation, Abhishek. You have worked across diverse industries from manufacturing to logistics to healthcare. Which sector taught you the most surprising leadership lessons?
I would say anytime it's manufacturing because the multinational manufacturing companies that I've worked for, they have been there for the last 150 years, uh, operating in more than 100 countries, and they have grown inorganically through mergers and acquisitions. And normally the strategy is whenever a legacy manufacturing company acquires a company, they don't kill the brand. They keep the company operational because each company has its own brand value, customer loyalty. So each of these large multinational manufacturing companies is actually a portfolio of many companies within themselves. So it's a very complex gamut of many companies in the portfolio, long legacy of 100 years. Moreover, you have channel partners, you have OEMs, you have business divisions, you have enabling functions. So the GCC acts in the center point for all this, complex system of different stakeholders, different companies, and these companies will be at different state of maturity in terms of systems, people, processes. So building a GCC within a manufacturing sector is really a fun and interesting value proposition for a GCC leader like me.
Wow. So, Abhishek, how do you approach building a strong talent strategy and culture in global teams?
Yeah. Well, if you see in all these GCCs or the global teams, AI or the transformation uh, are appearing as common themes. So what most of the GCCs do, they try to hire for skill only. But what I've experienced is the good hiring strategy is when you hire for attitude. rather than just hiring for skills. For example, if you're building an AI team or a Power BI team, Power BI can be taught in 2 days through YouTube videos, right? So hiring for attitude really matters, wherein I normally look for four important things within this hire for attitude strategy. Number one is people who demonstrate the consultative mindset, because it's not just me or my leadership team who will be interacting with the stakeholders. So we need people at all strata of the organization who can demonstrate that consultative mindset, who can challenge the status quo, and who can make recommendations to the business, who can step up in the meetings, who can drive the conversations. People who demonstrate learning agility to keep on upgrading themselves, people who really are the doers, not just thinkers. So I think this hire for attitude strategy I have seen working well in some of these complex setups.
Wow. So let's dive. I'll lead my conversation to what you have brought up. How do you balance technology, AI, automation, digital transformation with the human side of leadership?
Yeah, so to understand that, we need to look into a real life problem. Most of the GCCs or any offshore organization will have a target in terms of gender diversity. Normally, we target 50% gender diversity in a GCC. We strive really hard to achieve that. And most of us are doing fairly well in achieving that 50% gender diversity. But the problem is the speed, the pace at which AI is adding features. This 50% can become zero overnight in the next 2, 3 years. Right now, we all are in the denial mode. Hey, AI is not going to impact the GCC's workforce. But if you see the human side of the leadership, can provide a solution to this problem. You know, so the gender diversity good to achieve 50%, but at the same time you need to assess the your organization to make sure that the women talent is elevated for the STEM roles, for managerial roles, so that they become the consumers of AI, the consumers of transformation, rather than being impacted by AI and transformation. So from the human side of leadership, a leader should always be ready to design the right career pathway for the people in the organization, so that the workforce is future proofed. So that's what I infer from the human side of the leadership in the era of AI or transformation.
Wow. So, Abhishek, GCs today are positioned as AI-led transformation hub and profit and loss drivers. In what ways is AI accelerating this strategic shift?
See, AI is accelerating AI adoption of any company in two ways. Number one, in the local GCC operations. See, when you connect the outcome-based KPIs on which the GCCs are being measured, let's take an HR. The outcome-based KPI could be time to hire. Okay. Yes, do you do a lot of things? Those are transformation. You do a lot of things in the operation. Those are operations. But how do you impact your time to hire? So you will institutionalize certain bots who can schedule the interviews, who can screen the resumes. So using AI, you will stabilize your time to hire outcome-based KPI, or you positively impact it. This is how you are going to impact the other functions by adopting AI in the local GCC operations. Secondly, to your headquarters and the global sites, people in the GCC will identify the use cases, will recommend solutions using AI, so that the people in the divisions and the global enabling functions will see a value. They will see how fast they can accomplish their goals, how fast they can achieve operational excellence in their respective business units. So two ways: globally it is impacting, and locally in the GCC operations as well.
Wow. So, Abhishek, if skin in the game is table stakes, what leadership traits should both GCC executives and consulting partners should cultivate to thrive in this paradigm?
Sure. So when a GCC is new, it cannot deliver most of the use cases on its own, because you will not have those competencies in house from day one. So you need to really deliver ecosystem as a service, wherein you need to build ecosystem with the partners, consulting partners, research universities, and people from the GCC so that they collectively work together on the global use cases. And to make it happen, the best practice that is needed is transparency. So whether you are a consulting partner, you are people in the GCC, on the research universities, to make it happen, to make this ecosystem work, transparency should be there. Okay. So calling a spade. And when things don't work, you know, call it out, work together, resolve it. So transparency and resiliency are the two traits that I've seen working in this ecosystem as a service model.
Wow. So, Abhishek, what policy frameworks or ecosystem initiatives could ensure a harmonious balance between GCC growth and startup vibrancy?
Yeah, so I think both are indispensable to each other. As I said, GCC would not have all the competencies, especially if it is a greenfield setup. You need partners like AI/ML startups, right? So you will create a tag team between people from the AI/ML startups and your GCC workforce to deliver on those transformation use cases or AI use cases. So in terms of policies, I would say having a good org structure in place, making sure your people from your consulting partner also have some kind of linkage to your leadership team in the GCC. So that is more important. Secondly, how do you make sure that the value system of your company is also being demonstrated by your consulting partner? Because the reputation is at stake and data privacy is there. So you make sure that the consulting partner does all the things right. They harmonize themselves into your culture without jeopardizing their own culture. So how do you ensure culture fitment? How do you make sure data privacy is there? How you ensure transparency and resiliency is there? So all those things need to be inculcated while making policies or the procedures in this kind of a setup.
Wow. So, Abhishek, according to you, what are the key elements to focus on for alliances between educational institutions, startups, and GCCs to co-create talent pipelines and R&D partnerships?
Yeah. So again, I think these partners stand at different vertexes within this ecosystem. The universities lean on us, the GCCs, to help them revise their curriculum from time to time to make them more industry ready. And some of the GCs have really done a good job in proactively reaching out to universities, say 1 year before the recruitment, and making sure that the skills needed for the real life projects in the GCCs are being taught in the curriculum in the universities, whether it's all the big research universities that we have in India. GCCs also lean on uh, the universities because most of the GCC leaders have a target, a formal goal that 10 to 12% of their workforce at any time should come from the university channel, whether it's through the internship program, whether it's through the early careers program or the graduate hiring. Third, the partners also help in building those competencies in the universities and uh, the GCCs. So they all work together, to help each other.
Wow. So let's go maybe down the lane. Leadership is often about making tough decisions. Can you share one decision in your career that tested you the most?
Sure. So in one of my roles as a GCC leader, after a while, the company sold one of its business to one of its competitors. So
Mhm.
then all the people working for that particular business, whether from IT, finance, HR, marketing, they need to be all brought together under one GCC setup and transitioned into the new company, into the new organization. And this was an intercontinental deal wherein the acquired company was a US company while the acquiring company was Europe. And there were 17 to 18 countries which were involved in doing the business between the company and the customers. So there were 70 to 18 regulatory approvals that were needed, to approve the deal. It took 18 months, and they were looking for a leader who could bring all the shared services under one setup, who can give that clarity, who can manage this merger, deal at the same time. So I signed up for that. I applied for it. I was selected for the role. And I think that was a really a very challenging assignment wherein you need to give clarity to the people. During those 18 months, you need to show them light at the end of the tunnel. You need to manage a lot of equations. You need to manage confidentiality. You need to balance clarity with confidentiality. So I think that was a very challenging decision that I took in my career.
Wow. So, Abhishek, as someone who's moved across roles and industries, what has been your personal mantra for staying adaptable?
I believe it's all about the mindset. So the
Hmm.
mindset I carry is that of uh, beginner's mindset. So in a GCC leader role, you need to be a general manager. On a typical day, you will be doing a little bit of finance, little bit of marketing, little bit of IT, little bit of HR, because you are the site leader. You are the CEO of the GCC. You are the front face of it. So at times you would not know, you would not have done it before on that particular day. So if you go with a beginner's mindset that, hey, I'm learning something new, I haven't done it in the past, and it's going to positively impact my learning and help me grow. I think that mindset makes us adaptable rather than getting bogged down by the new things that we would face in on that particular day.
Wow. So, Abhishek, how do you see the role of GCCs evolving in the next decade?
See, I think right now the GCCs, to be honest, may not have
Yeah.
the seat on the table while defining the enterprise strategy. Okay,
Hmm.
5 years down the line, I would be happy to see the roles like chief services officers coming in, wherein the GCC leader will be the chief services officer, and he'll be having the seat on the corporate strategy table, wherein when the CXOs will be defining the next course of direction for the enterprise, his views, his recommendations will be taken into account rather than what is happening right now. The strategy is all laid out, and the GCC leaders are working towards making it happen. Okay, but if you see global, most of GCCs, 30 to 40% of the headcount in IT would be in India in the GCC. So too is about finance, marketing, and other functions. So GCC has really a good talent base for the headquarter sitting in India. So 5 years down the line, I think it will be more partnership model. It will be more one organization model, and the GCC leader will be having the seat on the table of the strategy.
Beautiful. So, my last question for our professional journey round, for aspiring GCC professionals, how should they reorient their mindset to embrace co ownership, strategic impact, and accountability?
I think it's like all again the mindset. Uh, they should embrace the growth mindset wherein in this journey they will see a lot of rejections, a lot of challenges, because at times the stakeholders would say to you, hey, don't teach us how to run our business. We have been sitting in this market for the last 40 years and your GCC has just started 6 months or 1 year back. Okay, so a lot of resilience need to be demonstrated by the emerging GCC leaders. So if they demonstrate the growth mindset, how do they see opportunities amidst challenges? How do they get inspired by the success of others? Some GCCs they would hear doing a lot of great things. So don't get insecure, but get motivated. So that's how the growth mindset is. Very much open, being very much open to the powerful and the constructive feedback from the stakeholders. A lot of benchmarking. So it's all about demonstrating the growth mindset.
Wow. So, let's go to the next round and understand Abhishek as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
Yeah, my formative years took me to different cities in India, and I was fortunate enough uh, t- uh, to spend a good amount of my life in the foothills of Himalayas and in some of the spiritual destinations of India like Haridwar, Rishikesh, and some
Mhm.
foothills like Dehradun, Mussoorie, and all. So those formative years really made me open to diversity as I was changing my school every 2 years, making new friends, meeting new people. So I became very much open to diversity, open to challenges. In my family, I stay in Pune. right now with my wife and two kids. Wife is an IT professional, and my daughter is 11, and son is 6.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay. As you said, you have lived in different cities of India and international. Which is that city which is close to your heart and why?
It's Mumbai. Okay. So I lived outside India, uh, various cities in India, but Mumbai is always close to my heart because of the vibrancy, because of different cultures coming in. So Mumbai is really very close to my heart.
Wow. Okay. So let's go to University of Maryland. What are your memories, experience from there, and how did it help in helping in your career?
Yeah. So the intent why I went to States for my MBA was to experience the US education system, which I believe is a very different, radically different from that of India. So even if you go to the top university, you will not get the job ready when you graduate during the campus hiring programs. So you need to really learn how to network with the potential recruiters. How do you sell your skills? How do you position yourself? And how do you keep on looking for opportunities? Just want to give an example. When I started my MBA, 20 days before the start of the classes were happening just 5 to 6 hours a week, but I haven't slept I did not sleep for more than 4 to 5 hours in a particular day. So what you were doing for rest of the 20 years? You were networking. So after the classes were over in the evening, we used to go down in the basement wherein everyone was assigned a locker. We will put on a business suit, and then we would be taken to a big conference room where in the corner you will have people from all the companies. They haven't come there for recruitment. So you need to really strike the conversation. You need to break the ice. You need to build the network. If they like you, then they will share you the business card. If they remember you, then they will strike a conversation later on through LinkedIn or through email. If it goes well, then you will have an informational interview. If they like you during the informational interview, then they will take your CV, they will refer it. So this is how it works. Sometimes it would take 8 to 10 months, to go from the stage of knowing someone to finally getting a referral. Okay. So that really shaped me from being
Yeah.
an introvert person to a very extrovert person who can network, who can speak on any topic, who can engage with the audience, from different backgrounds.
Wow. Beautiful learnings and advice inputs you have shared. So, all those young professionals out there, wherever you opportunity comes, so grab it and meet people, have conversations. So, this is what we are right now doing, having conversations and carrying those memories. So, what's one childhood memory that still makes you smile every time you think of it, Abhishek?
Sure. So I loved riding a bicycle when I was young. Okay, because it used to give me an independence. You can go wherever you want. So after I spent 5 to 6 years riding a bicycle, I thought, can I ride a motorcycle as well? Okay. And I just started riding the motorcycle after a few attempts. And that gave me a very important lesson that, hey, although a cycle versus motorcycle, these two are radically different things in terms of weight, in terms of speed, in terms of a lot of other things. But a lot of skills in life are transferable. That's what I learned on that particular day. So, riding a bicycle, I took some of the transferable skills that made me learn how to ride a motorcycle without any guide or without any coach. So that's one thing I really cherish.
Wow, beautiful. So, Abhishek, what's a hobby or interest which helps you to unwind and recharge?
Yeah, so physical fitness is important to me. And I, in the night, roughly around 9 p.m., when I'm done from the day, I try to work out. Workout could be anything. It could be riding a cycle or going for strength training or doing Pilates. So whatever I get, I try to ensure that from 9 to 10 in the night, I spend time on my hobby, which is about keeping myself fit and rejuvenating myself after the stressful day.
Wow. So, Abhishek, if you had 1 week away from work, what would you do and why?
Yeah, I spend time with my kids because these are their formative years, and
Mhm.
the relationship between them and me is very important at this juncture of their lives. So even if it is a week or a day or a couple of hours, if I get anything, will spend with them
Wow.
because ultimately that's the purpose of my life. Is giving good life to my kids and living a balanced life.
Wow. Beautiful. So, which is the book or movie which has left a lasting impact on you?
Yeah, so one book I consider is the powerhouse of personal motivation is Coming Alive by Barry Schultz and Michael Phelps. Sorry, it's Barry Michaels, uh, Coming Alive. And that will teach some of the frameworks how to keep ourselves motivated in our difficult times. As simple as that. If you want to make yourself fit, but you get into indulgences in terms of eating junk food, how do you make sure that you stay away from them? So it will give you some real life working frameworks that will help you accomplish.
Wow. So, Abhishek, if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
So definitely they will call me ambitious, but empathetic and
Mhm.
someone with growth mindset.
Wow. Beautiful. So, yeah, what are your plans would be for 2025? Now, a few months are remaining, personally and professionally.
See, personally, I would like to travel a bit on a couple of places in the rest of the 4 months that we have in the year. So maybe explore some places around Rajasthan because that is one state which I haven't explored much, except a couple of religious trips. So I want to really spend time over there. Professionally, I'm going to focus more on learning agentic AI
Mm.
because agentic AI is the talk of the town, and just like the blockchain was there 5 years back. So I want to keep myself at pace, learning a couple of tools. So want to continue doing that for next 4 months.
Wow. Since this is a special episode of Ganesh Chaturthi, what message would like to give to our viewers out there?
Uh, I think one message I draw from the Ganesh festival, especially from Lord Ganesha, is being receptive to both the good times and the bad times of the life. That's what he teaches. That's what his belly teaches us. Consume, be open to receive everything, and just accept everything in a calm and composed manner. Work towards handling them, but don't stress out. Accept everything as an offering from life.
Wow. Okay. My last one is a googly one. Describe Abhishek in one line.
Uh, I would call myself as a spiritual nomad uh, who is empathetic, who is ambitious, and who wants to grow.
Wow. So let's go to the next round, the rapid fire round, and put you in the hot seat. Your go-to comfort food.
Uh, I would say pizza.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're an early riser or a night owl?
I'm a early riser.
A leader you admire most from uh, the GCC community.
I think I would say there is no single one I should call out. I'm very much connected with all of them, and we all share a lot of best practices. Some I have exported, some I have imported. So all of them, I would say.
Wow. Your dream holiday destination.
Again, Rishikesh,
Wow. Your favorite color.
black.
Favorite restaurant from your favorite city, Mumbai.
It unfortunately it got closed. It was Mirchi and Mime. in Powai.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one thing I just want to let the viewers know, it was one of the first restaurant in which the servers and the chefs were differently abled people. So
Wow, okay, beautiful.
yeah,
There is one more is there,
yeah,
Ishara
Ishara,
at Palladium, where they use blind servers.
blind servers. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been over there two, three
Hmm.
times,
Yeah.
and the restaurant, there is no lights.
Yeah, I hope more such restaurants and more such sectors should open up for
Yes.
differently able people. And GCCs can play a
Ye-
role. In one of my
Wow.
GCCs, 2% was our target that at least, hey, try to get at least 2% of the workforce who are differently able. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. Tea or coffee to recharge?
Tea.
Let's switch to.
Although this is coffee for, coffee with Abhishek, but I like tea more than coffee.
Okay, you did well, and here's your book, which will be autographed and sent to you from the Coffee Conversation Show, Coffee with Shah.
Thank you
Okay,
so much, Amir.
yeah, let me wrap up. So, Abhishek, this special episode of Ganesh Chaturthi has given us a glimpse into the mind of a leader isn't just building global centers, but also building people, cultures, and futures. Your story reminds us that professional success is as much about resilience and vision as it is about relationships and balance. Thank you for sharing your journey with us and for inspiring professionals who want to enter the GCC sector to dream big, act bold, and lead with purpose. So there are over 500 speakers at the Coffee Conversation Show sharing their professional, personal journey. Subscribe, get inspired, implement in your life, and we meet with another coffee speaker, continue conversation or a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amir. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.